Hi everyone, thanks for tuning into this video. I hope you're enjoying the STEM Clubs week and all the anatomy, physiology and biomechanics content from today. My name is Jack, and in this video I'm going to try and give you some insight into my job role as a physiology laboratory technician demonstrator and as a PhD student and research assistant at Cardiff Metropolitan University. So that job role is quite a mouthful, but I promise you it's not as boring as it might first sound. And to help you persuade you on that, I've got a video here that includes some of the work I typically do in the labs. So on here, we've got an athlete running on a treadmill, and we've got them connected up to a few bits of equipment that are measuring things like their heart rate and how much oxygen they're breathing in and how much carbon dioxide they're breathing out. And we're measuring these things because as physiologists, we're interested in how the body functions, in particularly in response to sport and exercise. Now, my role as a technician demonstrator is important because I need to be there to make sure that the equipment is working properly, so the data we get is accurate and reliable. And I also need to be there to make sure the testing is conducted in a safe way so that nobody comes to any harm. Additionally, as a demonstrator, I'll quite often demonstrate these sorts of tests to other students who are studying things like sport and exercise science degrees and might use these tests in the future. Additionally, my second role as a PhD student and research assistant means I get to run my own research, and I'm particularly interested in looking at how exercise impacts the heart, the blood vessels, and how we supply blood flow to the brain. Now obviously, the heart and the blood vessels are in the body, so we need some specialist equipment like ultrasound machines to provide us images. And you can see here, this is a recording of the heart. But we can also take these ultrasound recordings during exercise, so you can see the heart beating even faster there. And then additionally, you can see a blood vessel or artery here and the blood flow through it, and how that changes with exercise as well. So hopefully you think there might be some interesting parts to my job. So if you're interested in this kind of job, this is how I got there at least. Obviously you have to go through a few stages of education. So I went to school, college and then university to acquire a few different qualifications. In particular, when I was at school and college, STEM subjects like biology and natural sciences were really important and things that I was really interested in. But I was also interested in more applied subjects related to sport and exercise, like PE and a BTEC in sport as well at college. And that led me to study for a degree in sport and exercise science at university. But as well as qualifications, there are other things in life that helped me get this kind of job. So my early interests in particular were really important in shaping what I studied. So I was obviously really interested in sport and exercise. But then at college, I also became interested in teaching and coaching. So I ended up having a few qualifications in rugby coaching and fitness instructing. Additionally, when I was at university, I gained other experiences shadowing people who work in teaching and also people who work in sports science support for sport governing bodies. So all of these experiences helped me get to the job I have now. Additionally, as with any other job, you need some good general and transferable skills like being able to organise your time well, being able to communicate effectively with different people, having specialist knowledge and problem-solving skills, and making sure that you're concentrating and good attention to detail when you're working. But most importantly for me, I think passion for the job that you're doing is the most important skill, because that way you'll enjoy what you do and do it to the best of your ability. But it's also important to note, as with any job, there are some good bits and not so good bits. I think these two pictures here sum up some of the best and worst parts of my job. There is a lot of equipment and a lot of stuff going on in these pictures, and it takes a long time to be able to set it all up. Also, There's a lot of exercise testing involved in sport and exercise science. You've got to be prepared to do it yourself. Luckily for me, I enjoy exercise. And also, because there's so much equipment and so much to set up, there's a lot of wires and a lot of mess in the labs, and we need to try and make it as tidy as possible, which can be really hard sometimes. But at the same time, these pictures represent the best parts. Mainly, the people you work with are interested in the same things as you and are enthusiastic about it, and that makes the job really fun. The job also includes a lot of variety, so there's teaching, sports science support, and research, enough stuff to keep me busy. And the research side of things has involved learning lots of different equipment, like the ultrasound technology, which I never thought I would have learned previously. So that's enough about me. Now I'm going to set you some challenges. And because I'm a physiologist, interested particularly in the heart and the blood vessels, I'm going to set you a challenge on how to measure your heart rate. So first off, you need to figure out how to measure your heart rate. And you can do this by using 2 fingers on your carotid or your radial pulse. So that's your neck or your wrist. I won't go into too much detail, but if you have any trouble finding them, you'll be able to find some guides online on how to find them. But it should be somewhere around there for your carotid and around there for your radial. Once you've found your pulse, for this challenge, you'll need something to write down your heart rate on. You'll also need a timer or stopwatch to time your heart rate. So sit quietly, find your pulse, and count it over 15 seconds using the timer or stopwatch. Once you've done that, calculate how many times your heart would beat every minute and compare it to these animals. Is it similar to any of them? Next, think about why these heart rates are different for these different animals. Then, if you've done all this, try measuring your heart rate again, but this time, see if you can change how fast your heart beats. Start off by seeing if you can make your heart beat slower. Is there anything you can do that might slow your heart rate down? And then do the opposite. Try and make your heart beat as fast as it can. In particular, because we're talking about sport and exercise science today, see what exercises will make your heart beat as fast as possible. Try different things like press-ups or star jumps or jogging on the spot and see which one makes your heart beat the fastest. And think about why different exercises might cause your heart to beat faster than others. And hopefully that will keep you busy for a little while. And that's it from me. Thank you for listening. I've enjoyed talking about myself today. I hope you've enjoyed it even more. Enjoy the rest of the week, and again, thanks for listening.